Hello and thank you for joining me today on The Political Conversationalist. My name is Ben Phipps and it's Friday, so I'm doing another brief update video on just what's going around the news in politics this week. And I have three pretty big stories today, one continuation from last week. Firstly, we're going to start with this. Suspicious bomb-like packages have been sent this week, I believe starting Monday, to many high-profile people including Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, former CIA Director John Brennan, former Attorney General Eric Holder, Democratic Congresswoman of California Maxine Waters, George Soros, and now Robert De Niro. Now, all these people have a couple things in common. Firstly, they've been outspoken critics of Trump, and secondly, they're historically liberal people. There are a lot of things about this story that doesn't add up. Unfortunately, there have been no detonations. There have been no analysis of the pipe bomb looking packages to determine if they were even capable of blowing up or capable of being a bomb. And there are numerous reports of people investigating the pictures that have been released and seeing some very strange things that on the postmarking for the packages that were put in that are not standard operating procedure for the post office. Now, all that's very circumstantial evidence. But here's what we know. Either it's someone who's really bad at making bombs and gets really lucky at post offices and is trying to hurt people who disagree with Trump. It could be completely a publicity stunt by someone. Really, there's no telling what it is or what it could or could not be. But the impact it has can be pretty easily determined. I would say the impact it has will sway a little bit of support towards the left as they become kind of victimized by conservative right-wing violence. So maybe this will help the Democrats in the upcoming midterm elections. And that may be something that they're hoping for, regardless of whether or not they planned it, that they actually do gain a little bit of benefit from it. And no one's been hurt as of yet. I'm sure more news stories will come out, and we'll hear things from the post office eventually. We'll hear things from bomb experts, and we'll understand a little bit more of what's going on. Our second story is a continuation of last week. We talked about Jamal Khashoggi and how he had died in the Istanbul, Turkey consulate to Saudi Arabia. And apparently there was an audio recording of the encounter or incident or whatever you want to call it. And according to multiple media sources, CIA Director Gina Haspel has heard this audio tape and is going to conference with the president sometime either today, on Thursday, I filmed these a day in advance, or tomorrow on Friday. And hopefully that'll shed some light on Khashoggi's death. Currently, Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince are holding that it was some rogue agents within the Saudi government. So someone took the law into their own hands and used their position to get things done that should not have been done. And officially they're saying that these actions were not sanctioned by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Al Salman, whom Jamal Khashoggi was extremely critical of, especially once he had moved to the U.S. and continued his career as a journalist. And now one of the other big stories coming this week, and it all started in Honduras. A group of 160 people left Honduras to travel to the U.S. for a better life as kind of a small caravan. And apparently local Honduran leaders and families and friends and everybody kind of joined together. Now there's over 7,000 people, and it's not sure that all of them are from Honduras or Venezuela or Colombia, or we don't know exactly where they're all from. But we know it started in Honduras, and now there are over 7,000 people heading for the U.S. border. They're about 1,000 miles away, according to a report I read today, from the U.S. border. They're in Mexico, and apparently they're planning to kind of storm the gate at the border. From the way they treated the Mexican authorities who tried to stop them, the Mexican federal police, they don't seem like a very a tame group of family members. There were many Mexican police who got severely injured, stones thrown at them, beaten with sticks, and ran over basically. So the way that the caravan is acting makes it seem like it has some type of ulterior motive than just finding a better life than Honduras. I mean, obviously, comparing Honduras and Mexico, Mexico would be a much higher quality of living. Why not seek asylum in Mexico and stay there? Why be so insistent that you have to go through Mexico and into the United States? And why 7,000 people at one time? And how are 7,000 people marching thousands of miles and surviving? So there's a lot of questions and not very many answers on what's going on with this migrant caravan. But again, it is something that is being played a lot in the media. It is definitely going to have an impact on the midterm elections upcoming in 2 weeks. If you haven't voted, you need to. Some places are still doing early voting. I'm going to vote on election day more than likely. So the impact this has on election day is going to be pretty severe, I believe, especially if they make it to the border before actually election day, November 6th. If they do, we'll have probably a similar border situation to the detained children we had earlier this year that we've talked about before on the channel. And that, of course, could sway public opinion towards the left. It might sway public opinion towards the right. We don't really know what's going to happen from this, but it is something we need to be aware of. So anyway, if you learned something today, if you like what you saw, and you have any questions, always leave a like, comment, you can subscribe. If you have a question that or a suggestion that you don't want to put down in the comments below, my Facebook page is linked in the description. You can go through there and then you can email me. There's a button on my Facebook page allowing you to email me. And if you email me, I'll email you back as soon as humanly possible. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys give me. Thanks for watching.